Welcome to the Periscope, a news analysis and interpretation show that covers politics, science, and business. And our episode today will be quite a special one because we are going to take a look at what we covered in the previous episodes. We are going to be looking at what stood out in those episodes and the fun facts that we got to learn along the way. But first, as usual, let's have the news headlines. And in the stories making headlines today, an elephant has been rescued in Samburu by tourists. Former nominated Senator Joy Gwendo is charged in an anti-corruption court. And finally, former football star George Weah is elected as Liberia's new president. Among our previous episodes, we took a little peek into Kenya's political scene and we got to see how the judiciary made history by annulling the August 8th 2017 presidential elections. Now let's have a little look at what we got to learn from episode 1.
Kenya went down in history as the third country to nullify a presidential election. This did not go well for the common mwananchi, the economy, and the presidential candidates. The annulment, a historic one in democracies, attracted global attention as political foes reacted to the outcome. All this time, uncertainty and tension clouded the country, with politicians taking center stage in the rhetoric. These events made global headlines as the international community paid close attention to the happenings in the East African economic giant.
The judiciary was acting its role in the society as per the terms of the Constitution. That's what I would think. Therefore, for it to stand like in being neutral, I think was the best thing to do. In fact, that's a good lesson demonstrating to the Kenyans.
The judiciary ilikuwa sawa by the way, it nullified the elections. For one, because it was not credible, it wasn't fair.
Despite the low voter turnout for the repeat of the presidential elections, Uhuru Kenyatta said that as a responsible leader, he may reach out to the National Super Alliance, NASA leader Raila Odinga, after the election as a way of unifying the country. He defended the move to hold the election despite the withdrawal of Mr. Odinga, the key challenger saying everyone has a constitutional right to vote or abstain.
In a democracy, there is a choice by individual people, and you would also talk about fairness of the system of how people then make that choice.
Written democracy, but we don't have practical democracy. Like, it's a wish.
I can't say there's no democracy, but the law people who are called mwananchi wa kawaida, there's no democracy.
The people of Kenya must have given their voice. The problem of Kenya is not the constitution, neither is it the judiciary. The problem of Kenya is laying in the shoulders of the leadership.
Having run and being elected for the second term, President Uhuru has had quite the political mileage. The same cannot be said for his long-time political rival, Raila Odinga.
In my own understanding, I'm not sure that Raila has mentored or even groomed any person that would actually step in his shoes. And so I see him again running for presidency then.
Despite Kenya having lots of wounds to recover from, the democracy of the state is still strong. The rule of law is still applied. Reporting for Periscope, I am Derek Masharia.
Welcome to our hard-hitting segment, and I'm so glad to be joined today by a very prominent student in Daystar University. He's an avid fighter for democracy in the country, and he's very, very much affiliated with the politics of the country right now. Welcome to the show, Israel Mido. It's nice to have you.
Thank you.
Do you think democracy is still applicable in the country right now?
First of all, I think that democracy is a word that has only been witnessed in the country only on 2 occasions, in 1992 and in 2002. I believe that 2002 are the only general elections where we had democracy for the people of Kenya, where we voted in Mwai Kibaki. Yeah, and also when we were changing the multipartyism law in Kenya, yeah, when we were changing the constitution from the KANU monopoly of Moi. Yeah.
So you say democracy has deteriorated so far?
Yeah.
In the recent elections, there was nullification of the votes for the presidential election.
That is justice. It is served by the court, so it is a fair verdict. It was the correct verdict. And I also believe that democracy is a little bit different. Yes.
The majority of the Kenyan people feel okay by the results of the election.
I don't know why you're saying many people are satisfied, and 12 million people did not vote. And the funny thing I find about these elections is that the ballot papers, they were like 8 or 7 candidates, but in the Kim's kit there are only 2. They're only Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta on the Kim's kit. So it's funny. We cannot run away from the truth. It's not tribal, it's not anything, but we cannot run away from facts.
Don't you think this appears to be a personal vendetta between Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta?
Raila had a project that was running from way back. You understand? It didn't start in 2002. It didn't start in 2007 or 2013. No. Raila had a project and a vision for Kenya, which we've seen he's fought for the democracy of these people. And he also led people to free us from Moi's government. Raila is about freeing, giving people their democracy, giving people their voice, and helping the whole of Kenya achieve greatness.
Do you believe that those calling for secession have a justifiable cause to do so?
Yes, I do think I am one of those articulating for secession in the country. So I think that the people feel marginalized. People feel left out by the government. People feel that the government does not care so much about them. You had the cases of police brutality in Kisumu, and the president up to now has not commented on the issue. So I think such things are cases of they are pushing people to call for secession because they feel that they are not part of the republic.
The coastal region, the leaders want secession to happen, and the port is there. This is one of the biggest contributors to the government's revenue. Do you think that is justifiable for the people of Kenya?
We have been marginalized for a very long time. The people of Western, the people of Nyanza, and the coast also have been marginalized, and we are being exploited. We have more resources, yet you find that these are the counties that suffer most. Currently, Budalangi is suffering from floods. I've been hearing floods since I was in 2002, and the government has done nothing. The other day they constructed a bridge, and then which broke down. You see, so I feel that the government has marginalized these areas, and it is our right. If Kenya is a democratic country, you should let people choose. You should let people choose what they feel they want for themselves, and I think secession is the best way going forward.
When people go to a demonstration, they go to demonstrate peacefully.
Yes.
But then when they attack the policemen, that is not a peaceful demonstration, is it?
Yeah, you may say that, but it's funny how that so many people are dying. Children, how does an 8-year-old die? Baby Mora, baby Pendo, they just die. And are you telling me that they were assaulting the police, the 8-year-olds and even the 2-month-old baby? You cannot justify what happened to baby Pendo and baby Mora, no matter what happened. So I think that police brutality, they start shooting in there, and then they start shooting tear gas canisters on the people, which is not fair. And also, the other day we saw in Kisumu the bullets which were being used in Kisumu. If you can use rubber bullets, why using such bullets which somebody in CNN described that they are only used in war?
Why is it that it was only witnessed in Kisumu that there were policemen with dreadlocks and not anywhere else in Kenya?
Because that's exactly what I'm saying. The government is deploying people who are just trigger happy in Kisumu. People who just go. Why are there death instances only in Kawangware, Kibera, Kisumu? Why? That's what I'm saying. When you see one policeman with dreads, it talks more about the government. It talks more about what is going on at the police. Why are you deploying people who are not policemen? People are dying in the country because, because of police brutality. And nobody speaks about that. It's just that the democracy is not at a level in the country where we can articulate for it.
All right, thank you very much, Israel Mido, for joining us. It has been very insightful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning into our hard-hitting interview. Right now, let's have our hyperlocal report.
Yeah, I go by the name Bone Kit. I'm here with two other guys, and I would like to ask them what their opinion is on the nullification of the elections. So,
I think it's what caused it is a level of preparedness. Unapata team election haikuwa prepared, and the teams that were to participate, okay, they both side the parties. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We had another person here who would like to comment.
Hi, I'm an international student here at Daystar. So what I can say about the elections that took place in 2017 August, the elections were not conducted in transparency as we would expect. Where I come from, Botswana, things are done in transparency, and we make sure that the Wananchis, as they say here in Kenya, they participate in elections and their voice is heard. According to what I know and what I've read in the newspapers, the IT guy was brutally attacked, and the issue of the server also brought up so many things. As a technical guy here at Daystar, I think if they were transparent enough to be able to open the servers and explain to the people, they could have won the confidence and trust of the nation at large. I mean, at this rate, technology is taking the world, and it was a good solution, but because of transparency, they didn't make it. Thank you.
Very informative stuff right there. Now, the advancement of technology has bring about so many things into our world today, and most operations in the world are characterized by technological advancement. In episode 2, we got to look at business and how it has integrated this technological advancement in online business ventures. Now let's take a look at the highlights that we got to know from episode 2.
Goods have been made extremely accessible with the advancement in technology. With just an internet connection and a device, purchase and delivery of commodities is just a click away.
What are some of the effects that the shift to online businesses has had upon Kenyans?
It is actually very convenient because you get to pick what you want. There's everything, like you get to see what you want before you pick it, and now you get to have a choice of what you want.
That's it, like you just pay for it after you get the product and you're sure about it.
In the recent years, we have seen the boom of online business ventures, and it is not new to us because we have seen it grow. I met with John Musau, a business expert, to find out the factors that we can attribute to online business growth.
Most people now, they are digital. Most people are on the net as compared to years ago. Now, almost everybody has a phone and is actually online. And therefore, if you put your product online, you're likely to be able to get customers. So, if you go online, you'll get almost everybody there, and you'll be able to sell your products.
Causes of fraud are not new. More often than not, we may get to hear about people being swindled online. So, is security guaranteed for people to do business online?
I have read too many bad reviews and heard of disappointing stories and rather stay out.
I don't like buying things online because they don't have a personal touch, and I think personal touch is very important.
Jared Abongo is a business and economics practitioner. I had a conversation with him to find out if there are any policies in existence to govern online business transactions.
The culture in Kenya is that there is a lot of dishonesty in business, and we are never sure what is hidden behind the table. So if I were to order a good from Kisumu, just go online and order and wait for it, I would be so worried during the time of waiting, unless it is a reputable company that I may have dealt with and I know how they work.
Online business ventures are advancing more by the day, and Kenyans are not being left behind, with businesses investing on online platforms. Buyers and sellers share on both the benefits and the shortcomings that come with it. Reporting for Periscope, this is David Julius.
Thank you very much, David Julius. A very informative report right there. Now, I had a chance to sit with Noah Muhindi, an online marketer and distributor, and I got to question him on how he conducts his business online and how he has been able to keep up with this entrepreneurial trend. Hello and welcome to our hard-hitting segment, and today we are joined by Noah Muhindi, an online business entrepreneur and distributor. Welcome to the show, Noah. Nice to have you.
Thank you very much, Brian. I'm glad to be here.
What motivated you to begin your online business venture?
Okay, I could see there's a need in the market, there was a gap, there was a need for people to get their goods transported in time, and I thought I could start something that would help them do that. And so immediately I started. Yeah.
How have you guaranteed the security of the delivery of the products from your company to the recipients themselves?
That's another thing, because in transport industry, or rather in service industry, there's that trust issue. You need to earn the trust of the people. But for that to happen, you need to have worked for a certain period of time so that the people can earn your trust. And that's what I'm doing. I've been doing for the last couple of months. When I started in July 27th, that was the thing I was doing. I used to deliver things, not to get money, but to earn the trust of the people and to learn how the market operates.
What are some of the challenges that you have encountered so far while doing this business?
One is capital to start. I experienced that when we were starting. Capital. Another thing was the government policies. You realize that before you start a business, you have to you have to get permits, licenses, insurance, and everything before you can comfortably run a business. So it was difficult in those two. Those are the two major challenges.
Have you brushed shoulders with the government in any way while conducting your business?
Not yet, but I know such things might happen anytime. You can never tell when they're going to happen. But I know maybe in future, with so many clients coming in, they might come in, and I just don't know how, but I know we'll deal with them when that time comes.
Are there government policies in which you think the government may try to intervene into your business and help you, or probably interfere with your business?
Of course, in terms of competition, the government has to put a good policies to enhance healthy and fair competition. Another thing would be security. Of course, we're going to do our part to enable that, to enhance higher security, but the government has also to do its part, because you realize that this venture of ours is very risky and delicate, if I would say so, because you can get someone who might fake his identity with the D&D delivery side.
Well, thank you very much, Noah, for inciting us on your business ventures. It has been nice having you on the show.
Thank you very much.
And right now, let's have our hyperlocal report.
Hi, my name is Ruth Robin, and we'll be talking about online businesses. As you know, even me as an individual, I've done online businesses, like buying stuff from OLX, Jumia, and other stuff. But my favorite I prefer is Kilimall. I've done, and it was worth a while. But I'm going to ask a few friends of mine to know what they have done in online businesses and how it was. So, Chapsik, tell us. Online businesses, what have you been doing?
I like online businesses because it saves you the time you don't really have to go to the shops, and you get what you want, you get to see what you want, and you get to pick what you want. So
there is no that kind of idea of fraud, like, the picture looks like this, but the product looks different.
Yeah, with online business, they are so advanced these days that you can return the item that you're not comfortable with.
That's nice. So now, as you've heard, you can do online businesses, and if you're comfortable with what you get, you can return. What about those people who don't get what they want and they want to get something better? Can they return it? So I'm going to ask my friend here, David, to tell me about his online experience.
Hi.
Hi.
I once bought a watch at Jumia. Fortunately, it didn't disappoint. It was okay. I paid. It was delivered in 2 weeks.
Wow, that's fast.
Yes.
So did you pay extra for anything?
I paid 200 bob extra for delivery.
For delivery?
Yes, outside the CBD.
Ah, so within the CBD it's free, but when it comes to in wherever you're staying, it's...
Yeah, I paid 200 bob for delivery, yes.
So as you've heard, online business is a good business, but it depends with where you're buying it and what service and provision you're being given. So I hope as an online user or buyer, I hope it can work out for you whenever you're buying a product or a service, and it's going to be good for you. So I've been your host. Hey guys. Anyway, so take care. Bye.
In our world today, you can have just about anything delivered at your doorstep by the click of a button. Pretty cool how things move very fast, right? Well, as they say, the best for last. In our final episode, episode 3, we got to talk about science, and we got to look at climate change and the weather. This is not a new topic for many out there, but rather we went out to find more details and fun facts about the weather and climate change, and this is what stood out for episode 3.
Here in Africa, we are blessed to experience relatively comfortable weather conditions throughout the year, and we only get to see the extreme conditions on TV. So, what are the differences between the weather conditions here in Africa and the United States?
One of the main factors that are evident in regard to the difference in climatic conditions between Africa and the other continents is the geographical locations. The tropics of Cancer and Capricorn act as shields which provide a rather moderate climate zone that does not suffer adverse weather conditions such as hurricanes and tornadoes. Dr. Faith Mburu explains.
Geographically, we are in different locations. In terms of latitude, we are about the tropics. The temperate regions have the climatic challenges that affect them. We on the tropical environment, we also have our share of challenges. On this side, we tend to have extremes of the El Ninos, the La Nina.
We do not experience these conditions firsthand, as we consider ourselves lucky, having been located strategically within the tropics, where we have not only escaped these natural disasters, but also other conditions such as tsunamis, hurricanes, and typhoons.
Man and the environment have a relationship that dates back years and years. However, with every relationship, there is a catch. Both people and the environment have their respective roles to play to ensure the survival of the other. However, recent environmental degradation and weather changes have proven that man has become quite sloppy in playing his role.
Well, I can say, for example, when you look at Mombasa Road, there are so many factories along the road and they produce gases. And these gases are harmful to the environment.
Chlorofluorocarbons into the air, so leading to causes problems like global warming and stuff. So
I met up with Dr. Martha Carrier, an environmental expert, to get to know the relationship between human beings and the environment.
Actually, when we speak environment and man, we say humans need the environment. The environment never needed man, but now it needs man. Unfortunately, man is actually an aspect of the environment. The environment would not make much meaning if you removed the human aspect. And unfortunately, we are also the greatest danger that the environment faces. We draw so much out of the environment, yet we are putting back so little.
Well, basically it's humans who contribute to climate change when they cut down trees.
Women have needs, and so these needs foster them or propel them into doing activities such as cutting down trees to gain settlement.
The tropics are a bracket that influence the climatic conditions of Africa. The same, however, cannot be said for Europe and the United States. One thing is, however, sure, climate change is real, and man and the environment have a symbiotic relationship. Reporting for the Periscope, I am Kefa Muirori.
Thank you very much, Kefa, for that very informative report. Now, I had a sit-down and one-on-one with Karen Kirui, a meteorological student at the University of Nairobi, and I got to question her on the involvement of the human aspect in climate change. So today, for our hard-hitting segment, we are privileged to be in the presence of Karen Kirui, a meteorology student at the University of Nairobi. Thanks for joining us today, Karen. It is nice to have you.
Thank you.
Almost all the people in the world are asking right now.
Yeah.
Is climate change real?
Yes, climate change is very real,
the impacts are not being felt as much in Kenya, except for cases of flooding and the frequent droughts we've been having over the past few years in the last decade. But in the parts of Europe and the United States, it's being experienced, it's being felt. Although they do not believe that it is there, it is. Because at this point in life, we are seeing cases of heat waves and cold waves that are killing people. And we are also seeing a lot of increase of skin cancer in parts of Germany.
Here in Kenya, we are privileged not to have the extreme weather patterns. What can you attribute to this?
First, I would say in Africa, we also have weather extremes. We have cases of floods. Floods are weather extremes. Droughts are also weather extremes. And those are the ones that we have been experiencing in Africa. Away from Africa, we have cases of tornadoes and hurricanes.
What could be the difference in weather patterns between the tropical regions and the extratropical regions?
Tropical regions are influenced by convective systems, and the outside tropics are influenced by frontal systems and also convective systems. Well, in the tropics, we majorly depend on the sun for the weather parameters to be achieved. In this, I mean, weather in the tropical regions are mostly characterized by rainfall. That is how we understand weather even in Kenya. So when we talk about tropical weather, we focus a lot about the sun.
How long ago can you attribute these effects to climate change?
It is said that what we're experiencing now is actually what started in the industrial era, in the times of, I think it was 19th century, where there was a boom when it came to urbanization and industrialization. And currently, we are emitting a lot of chemicals and carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which goes a long way in depleting the ozone layer and also increasing the temperatures of the world.
Can man change the weather either for the good or the bad?
Yes, weather has been known to be changed, and we have one in specific, and it's called cloud seeding. It's being used in Israel. You know, Israel is a desert region, but then they have a booming agricultural sector, and that is one of the things they use is cloud seeding. Where cloud seeding, they use ground stations to inject gaseous sodium iodide into the clouds when they are forming, so that the rain that was supposed to fall in a different region gets to fall on their farmlands. And also it has been used in China, and majorly it's because there's a lot of air pollution in China. And one of the things that is used to subside air pollution is rainfall.
It is said that the Sahara Desert is increasing every year. At what percentage is this going?
The Sahara Desert is progressing towards East and Central Africa by approximately 1 to 2 kilometers a year. That is pretty fast for such a phenomenon to occur.
From your field of study and your expertise, what can you advise on the world, or rather on Kenya?
First of all, I would really recommend the use of renewable energy, biogas. Second, we have a high solar energy potential because we are located at the equator. Then that would be much better.
Well, it has surely been a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
That was Karen Kirui. I'm sure by now you know so much about climate change. It is real, and we have to take steps in order to mitigate it. Let's have a short commercial break, and then we will have our hyperlocal report.
Wakati unapotunza upendo na utamaduni, ni halisi inakuwa tundo la maisha unapogundua.
Hello there, my name is Noam Hindi, and I'm here to take views from people about climate change, and I just walk around. Here with me is Newton Adika. Newton, what is your take on human activities and the impact of climate change?
Well, I think human activities have really messed climate changes, and this is because of cutting down of trees. Cutting down of trees are really messed up with the environment, since nowadays it's not raining as usual, and also some of the vehicles are using, like, let's say, they are emitting gases that are so poisonous to the environment that can actually has led to the change of climate in the time right now. Yeah.
That is his view. Let us walk around and get some more opinions. Here with me is Aika. Aika, what is your take on the impact of human activities on climate change?
I think people have grown to put up industries, lots and lots of industries, and the fact that they emit dangerous gases into the air makes it so, I don't know, it just spoils the environment. The world is so toxic nowadays, I can't even explain how. So industries, yeah.
That is it from our people. My name is Noam Hindi, reporting for Periscope.
We have come to the end of our episodes on the Periscope show. From a personal point of view, my favorite episode was on weather and climate. You can let us know what your favorite episode was on the comment section below. Do not forget to subscribe and share. I have been your host, Kirui Brian. See you next time. God bless.